Usually we're going in alphabetical order.
Right.
My name is first. Well, it's great to be here, and thank you for having us here today. My name is Frances Goldner. I'm from Walhalla, so if you go up toward Clemson and keep on going, if you hit North Carolina or Georgia and back up a little bit, that's where Walhalla is. And we were just discussing population size. Yeah, y'all are just a little bit bigger than we are. I think there's an unwritten rule in heaven that says Walhalla will never be bigger than 5,000 people. It has been that way my entire life. And I think there's a rule, you can't be born until someone dies. You can't move in until someone moves out.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it even. I went to Clemson. Someone asked if I was a Clemson fan. Yeah, I'm a Clemson fan. Are there any Carolina people down this far?
Oh yeah, you're outnumbered.
Am I?
Except for a few. Except for a
Maybe I shouldn't
few.
have said anything.
William over there. William over there.
We're here.
That's what I said, y'all over there.
I didn't mean to start around. Well, my mother went to Carolina for a period of time, so maybe I'm a half-breed. I'm a teacher for another week and a half. Yes. And I've been teaching for a little over 20 years, high school science. I teach freshmen, 14-year-olds. Right now, they're just a whole lot of fun. And before that, I was stay-at-home mom, volunteer extraordinaire. Started some nonprofits, worked for other nonprofits. I also, once a week, for my own sanity, I force myself to make music for 1 hour a week, and I'm the church director for our hymn bell choir, and have been for many, many years. And that's kind of kept me, music is a good way to keep yourself sane. When looking at the Republican stuff on my Facebook feed, I've been trying to figure out what to call them, how to kind of plumb them into something that I can relate to. And I finally decided, well, if they were a movie genre, what would they be? And then I came up with ideological horror movie. But then as I started thinking about it, it's like, no, there have been some real ideological horror movies in the world over the years. So maybe theirs is more fantasy, ideological horror. Because a lot of what they talk about isn't even real. And then they get all upset about what isn't even real and then blame it on us when it wasn't real to start with. So fantasy, that's kind of where I'm going with what they are, fantasy ideological horror. And they got a lot of different little chapters in their playbook of things that they like to pull out. One of them is immigration. That one's come up a bunch. I've heard many Republicans say our biggest problem right now is immigration. So I've been looking for it. We're a quarter Latino in Walhalla. I've been looking for the problem. I haven't found the problem yet. I mean, we've got people moving in, people with language issues. I teach at T.L. Hanna. We call it the little mini UN because there's 23 different languages spoken in that one high school. A lot of Ukrainians have come in now. So, yes, I mean, there's the bobbling that happens when people who don't speak your language move in, but a problem that warrants all this attention? I don't think so. I remember many, many years ago, well, not that many, when the Syrians were coming in and we were afraid they were going to slit our throats in the middle of the night. Well, that didn't happen. And then the Hondurans came. Remember the busloads of Hondurans coming? And they were all going to storm the border and rape and kill everybody. Well, that didn't happen. Then we've got the Venezuelans now coming in. They're taking all our jobs. We've got plenty of jobs right now. Our unemployment rate is so low that we've got plenty. So none of that actually really happens. So you're in the fantasy of things that don't really happen. Mexicans are always bringing in drugs. We know that, right? Well, no wonder they want to open carry. They're afraid of their own fantasy. They actually believe it. And I think we need to start speaking truth about people who move into our communities who don't speak English. We don't need to be afraid of them. We need to get money down to Border Patrol so that Border Patrol can actually fund the resources they need to make the border secure. Our illegal, the number of illegal aliens coming into the country has been steadily dropping over the years. So that's not really the big issue. We do need to get some help down there so people can get processed much faster. We need some temporary green cards for the people that come in. Because when they come in and they're being processed, it could be 6 months to a year before they're allowed to work. And that's not good. That's not good for anybody sitting around for 6 months to a year without doing anything. So we need to work on that. We need some comprehensive immigration policy to work on. Another one of their fantasies is healthcare. We heard a lot about repeal, replace in the last election. Repeal, replace, one of their big fantasies. Well, all they did was poke holes and stuff and didn't replace it with anything. And if you ask them about health insurance, they will tell you, you need to go get some more training, go back to college and get a better job, which is another way of saying you don't deserve health care in the job that you're in. The people that deliver the pancakes to the table do not deserve health care. The people who quite literally put a roof over my head do not deserve health care. The people in the Lowe's that are helping me figure out lumber supplies and garden supplies, they don't deserve health care. And that's just not true. I seem to recall in Bible stories, the loaves and the fishes. You know, I believe Jesus said feed everybody, right? Not just the wealthy, not just the worthy, not just the ones that contributed the most, everybody. Even the freeloading derelict that we all know who they are, and they're always getting more than they need, we need to feed them too. They all need health care. We need to definitely work on that. Part of that repeal, replace, poked holes in the Obamacare so badly, we've got multiple people falling through. I think there's, 600,000 people in South Carolina right now that are uninsured. My daughter recently, I have 2 kids, they're grown and gone. My youngest is turning 30, we're not gonna talk about that. But my daughter, she had her second child, and she qualified for Medicaid maternity, but nothing else. She made too much money for anything else, she and her husband. But she qualified for Medicaid maternity. Because of that, in the Obamacare clearinghouse, the American Care Act clearinghouse, she didn't qualify for any insurance because she checked one box that said I qualify for Medicaid. And she couldn't not check that box because she was. She couldn't get any insurance through Medicaid or through the clearinghouse for anything other than being pregnant. That's a big gaping hole. Because she tried to get insurance and she could not. Could not force the companies to take her money. And you know, the Republicans in their fantasy keep saying Americans are going to be taking care of Americans first. How often do we hear that? Taking care of Americans first. Well, they are not doing it. Otherwise, we would have health care. Another one more before I close, is the environmental fantasy. That the environment is something for people who like to make flower crowns for their heads and dance through the grass and look at the beautiful views. That the environment isn't something that we actually live in. That the organisms that live here other than us are in communion with us, and we support them and they support us. And we're all part of one big piece. That climate change isn't real. In addition to the armadillos that are in Walhalla right now, which still blows my mind. I know these guys have heard about the armadillos more than once. There's also, just very, very recently, the last of 6, I believe, glaciers in Venezuela just melted. It's gone. So now it's the first country to have lost all of its glaciers. The world is warming up. We've lost half of the Great Barrier Reef. In fact, half of most coral reefs in the world, because carbon dioxide in the air makes the oceans acidic and corals can't survive. Half already. Half. Pollution. There are so many plastics in our water right now, it's in our food supply. Did you know that you've got plastic pieces in your blood? In your blood, they're finding it in people's lungs. And for those that are concerned about the health care of an embryo in a fetus, there's plastic in placenta. We need to deal with this. The environment is really, really important because we live here and they are stuck in a fantasy. So there are a lot more little fantasies in their playbook. And we usually think that it's ridiculous to keep saying the truth over and over and over again because it's obvious. But they're not getting it. So we're going to have to say it over and over again. And we are losing more and more of our citizenry into that fog of fantasy because they're believing the memes that they see. Used to be bumper stickers when I was young. Now it's memes. And they're believing them. We need to be in there countering all of that. We can't just let it slide. We've got to be there so we don't lose them. We need to put fantasy back into books and back into movies and back into gaming and get it out of government. And I am running for the U.S. Congress, 3rd District. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we'll have Byron Best come up. Right. Mhm.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing this morning?
Good.
Evening. How you doing this evening?
Good.
Yeah, forgive me. I've had a long day today, but thankful to be here today to speak in front of y'all, good people at Abbeville County. My name is Brian Best. I am from Edgefield, South Carolina. Originally born and raised there. Now I reside in Greenwood County. My current job, I'm a manager at Sherwin-Williams, the paint store. And if you need paint, you come there. I can make sure hook you up with some nice paint and for your houses. So I decided to run for Congress. Mere reason for my son. My son was diagnosed with ADHD, and then I went to the school and they told us to go to our local congressman. Went to our local congressman. He didn't help. Got me so infuriated. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna run. I'm gonna beat him. Mere to my knowledge, I was prepared to run against Jeff Duncan, then he resigned. So I said, you know what? It's fine. I'm still gonna run. I'm still gonna win because I care about my community and I care about people. Who is Brian Best? Brian Best is an ordinary guy with extraordinary vision. Brian Best cares about people. Brian Best cares about his community. I am a husband and a father. I care passionately about my family. I've been with my wife for 9 years, and married for 7, and our son is 6 years old. One of my big platforms that I'm running on is education. Education is key, dear to my heart, because I know what it's done for me. Education gave me an opportunity to be able to dream big and be able to pursue dreams. I wasn't fortunate to have a lot growing up, but I still worked hard and took advantage of opportunities that was very rare. So when we live in the rural area, we need to be able to create more opportunities for our kids. We need to be able to create jobs so we can keep kids in the community if they don't plan on going to college. We need to work on building an apprenticeship back in schools to give people training so they can be able to learn how to do plumbing, electrician, carpentry, brick mason. Those jobs are becoming obsolete now. And in my field I work in, I hear a lot of people telling me that there's nobody that's doing plumbing, there's nobody doing electrician, there's not doing carpentry, and they paying guys close to $900 an hour to do it. So that'd be a good field for you young adults to get into because they can make money off of it. We're big on the environment. I'm big on creating solar energy jobs in our area. What that does for rural areas, it gives young adults jobs with high paying wages so they can be able to buy houses. Plus, when you look at energy efficiency, what it does is it saves money for plants as well as people in the community. So your light bill won't be too high because we can create solar plants for the sun, and then we have wind turbine energy to create electricity. Plus, what it offers is a cleaner environment, so you don't have to worry about plants polluting. I'm also big key on gun safety, gun control, gun safety. Like I stated in my last speech, no one needs to be walking come and kill 100 people at one time. So we need to work on having gun safety classes. So if a person buys a gun, what we need to do is when they buy a gun, give them a certificate. They fill a certificate out. And they have to come to a gun safety course. When they complete the gun safety course, they get a sticker. Once you get the sticker, you have it for 2 years, because law changes every year. After they get the sticker, they get 2 years to go to get it renewed. So when they get it renewed, is go back to a gun safety class and learn about the laws of guns. What that does is it makes people accountable of knowing about guns, the laws of guns, and also teach them how to be able to handle conflict without using a gun. You can handle conflict by talking, not by using violence. Violence makes us a barbaric country, and we're not a barbaric country. I'm big on women's rights. Women have done phenomenal things from the beginning of time. A lot of times, men don't give them credit for it. In order to be a strong man, you gotta have a strong woman beside you. And to respect women's right to be able to choose and be who they want to be. Also, with the reproductive body between them, God, and their daughter. Government right now is trying to take control of women's bodies, women's choices, and I don't like that. It's not right. We live in a country right now where a lot of men think hide themselves, and it's okay to have confidence, but you need to tear down women. Women are having the backbone of this country for years. So I'm big on women's rights, and they have the right to choose and be who they are, strong women. When I go back to education, why it's important, because when companies want to come in and bring jobs into the community, the first thing they look at is the education and the crime rate. If the education is low, that means the crime is high. So a lot of times, companies will not like to invest into an area where there's low education and crime rate is high. Because low education, they believe that they cannot, people in the community cannot be capable of making their products. What education does is it creates infrastructure. It helps fuel the economy in the local counties. Abbeville is a beautiful county. I've been traveling around and I got lost in Mount Carmel. So I blame my brother for that, because he broke down on the side of the road and said, "Where are you located?" I said, "Mount Carmel." Never heard of it. Went there, got lost, but I saw the beauty of Abbeville, and I saw the opportunity of growth that we can bring to the community. So as your congressman, I'm looking forward to working to bring the economy to the rural areas. The rural areas are most times are forgotten. You see most candidates go to Anderson or Coney, the bigger counties. But I've been in Abbeville a lot because I'm from a rural area. And I know what it takes to be able to find opportunities in rural areas. And education can bring a lot to these counties, the rural counties of Saluda, Edgefield, McCormick, Newberry, Abbeville. So my goal as a congressman is to be able to work together, work with constituents to be able to bring money into this county, so to be able to grow and be the county that I know it can be. I always say 3 letters. I say CCI, which means committed, compassionate, and intentional. I'm committed to break the status quo, tear down walls, and build bridges so we can connect with people. I'm running for y'all. I'm from the people, for the people. We have had years of not having candidates that's for the people. 1994 was the last time a Democratic candidate won this seat. It's 30 years. It's 30 years. And I blame us, the voters. I blame us because we allowed them for years to sit in office and not do anything. We allowed that. you allow a person to take advantage of you, beat on you, it is your fault. But I'm telling you today, we got a renewed strength. And we can get up, get people registered to vote. We got candidates now that have an opportunity to break the status quo and win. So I'm Brian Best, your candidate for 3rd Congressional District. Thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for your vote. Thank you.
Okay. And now we'll hear from Brandon Best.
I'm sorry. I do this to break down points, so I won't miss nothing, so I can just check it off like that. Yeah. Well, good afternoon, Edgefield County. I'm happy y'all made the right choice to come here today to see these candidates here, including me. Thank you. As y'all know, my name is Brandon Best. I am a native of Edgefield County. My brother and I grew up together. I'm gonna tell you a quick story of survival, if he don't mind, but his story is my story. So what I went through, we went through the same thing. I want to thank Ms. Phillips first because she threatened me to come here. I saw her at the fish fry. She put a knife through my neck. You better come. I said, I will. So give her a shout out. But it's a lot, y'all. Just want to get everybody, smiling.
But I will do that though.
You will?
I will do that.
It's the truth.
They know that.
So, but again, my name is Brandon Best. I'm a native of Edgefield County. I'm gonna share with y'all a quick story of survival. We grew up in a rural area, and I grew up watching my father walk. When I say walk from Edgefield County to Augusta, Georgia, daily to provide for our family. To fathom that, a walk to and from daily. When you drive in a car, it would probably take you 10, 15 minutes. A 26-mile walk to be exact. What he did to provide for our family, he sold costume jewelry, tapes, cassette tapes, socks, pillows, and painted rocks. Not jewelry, but painted rocks. Some guys told me that he sold rocks, and no, I thought it was painted rocks. Get that clear. And not only that, my father had only 50% of his heart due to he suffered a massive heart attack when my brother and I was the age of 1. Now you see my determination and my resilience. I got it from him. My father passed away when I was 11, and my mother became the anchor of our family. My mother was a very strong-willed woman. My brother and I faced some challenges with a speech impediment, but my mother made my brother and I every day after school, after we got done chopping wood, because we didn't have the central heat in the house, we had to go do our homework. And we had to research things, read, write what we read, and sit up in front of her and repeat what we said. So education is very important to my dear heart, because if it wasn't my mother making that sacrifice, and the teachers too as well, because I came from a great elementary school, because it starts there with the children. I will not be the man I am today. Reading expanded my imagination, expanded my dreams. My dreams to, God willing, become y'all state senator. Not only y'all state senator, y'all governor of South Carolina. Not only y'all governor, y'all next president of the United States. You gotta dream big. Nelson Mandela stated, what is a life worth playing small? Living a life that you are not capable of living. So why I settle for less? Why should we settle for less? It's a slogan. Why settle for less when you got the best?
Best.
But education is important, because my brother and I will not be where we at right now. It was my parents and our teachers. And it's saddened to say that our education is 43rd in the nation. We got fourth graders, 68% of fourth graders not reading proficiently. We have 71% of eighth graders not doing proficiency in math. I talked to a teacher today, and she told me something that it's a rhyme, but it's saddening. But we got students in middle school that's struggling to read the Cat in the Hat. Struggling. And that's not a good thing as well. You got administrators. Y'all teachers in here. Any teachers in here? You got not all administrators. We got administrators who are telling teachers, putting pressure on teachers to get the kids reading to standards, and it's tough to pull the squeeze blood out of a turnip. Having teachers to go the extra mile on something that the elementary school should attack right away. So I challenge elementary school teachers to and also parents as well, because we go both ways. To put our effort into our youth, because they're our future. Education will create jobs in this state, and also bring revenue to our state, bring more money to our state. But we are focused on a gun law. In 2019, we had 1,000 people that was gunned down in gun violence. 1,000 people, families changed off gun violence. It's important to me because I lost my older brother to gun violence. And it changed our family forever. I think it really personally killed my mother. She was never the same again. Our family was never the same again. We have a rule in our family now because of this. I don't hear from this guy in 2 days. I'm popping up and seeing how you doing. That's the rule in our household. But as I talk to you today, I talk to you as I am your senator now. My goal is to fight and be an agitator to our Republican counterparts who don't really care about y'all at all. They really don't. And I hate when they say they're conservative. I'm a football guy. And y'all watch football, you can't win the game being conservative. You win the game being aggressive. Go for 4th and 1, punt the ball, no, you go for it. Aggressive change. We don't need conservative change in our state. We need aggressive change in our state. I want y'all to repeat after me. This is my slogan I always say. I want y'all to say it's a doggone shame.
Doggone shame.
You gotta get louder than this. I know y'all louder than that.
Yeah.
It's a doggone shame.
The doggone shame.
That's right. It's a doggone shame. People I talk to day to day, when I was walking the streets, they barely making ends meet month by month. Say it.
It's a doggone shame.
So, y'all get it.
Doggone shame.
It's a doggone shame we have seniors that I talk to on a regular basis have to make decisions on either getting medicine or getting them something to eat.
It's a doggone shame.
And the seniors are the stakeholders of the community. Nowhere in the world, if you work 30 to 40 years being a law-abiding citizen, that we not take care of our seniors. We got to take care of our youth and our seniors. And I don't want to say it, but if you don't vote for me June 11th, say it again.
It's a doggone shame.
I want to thank you for your time. I'm here to answer any questions. If you want to contribute to my campaign, I'm letting you know it's not cheap being on these streets. So my website is bestfordistrict10.com. And what else? Make sure and also check out my Facebook as well. But most importantly, I do want to thank y'all for coming out. And if you got any questions, I'll be willing to answer after do this video. Thank y'all.
Let's give all our candidates a hand. Now we're at the question and answer section. So if you have a question for them, you can go ahead on and ask it now.
Hi,
I got one question, because I'm a little confused.
Okay.
You two are running for two different offices.
Yes,
You're not
we
both
do.
running. You're running for District 3 for Congress, and you're running.
Same thing. Yeah, Brian and I are
But
running.
I'm referring to the two brothers.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
other
What
brother
do you
running
mean?
I'm running for the District 10 Senate seat.
For the Senate seat.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's the state Senate. You're running for US Congress.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's, I needed to get clear there.
That's why we didn't wear, I wore a tie
Yeah,
tonight,
yeah,
and he,
yeah.
so we,
Y'all are gonna have to have t-shirts.
'Cause I
Yeah,
call
so-
him,
And
I
S, you
know,
know?
I know. I last, we had spoke at Greenwood, my first time speaking, and I looked at the, video, and I didn't know if it was me or him. So I thought that, from now on, we go places together, don't wear a tie, I wear a tie, so. We do now.
I understood you two were both running for
Oh,
District
okay.
3, but I was a little confused about the two of them. Senate, state Senate, US Congress. Okay, got it.
So, who is our incumbent state senator? Is
Billy
it
Garrett.
Billy Garrett?
Billy
Okay,
Garrett.
so you're running against Billy Garrett.
Yeah,
Okay, and I'm assuming he's running for reelection.
Yeah, it run, you see his signs all everywhere.
Okay.
I want to tell, don't want out, but yes, he is the incumbent, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this guy is a likable guy or not. Because everybody I talk to, everybody said I can't stand this guy. You can't stand it. Why this guy didn't see? So the goal is to stump him. I've been researching him every night, so I just about know everything about him. I know what he eats. So, a lot of pork. But the things that I think when you're a leader, one thing he said that I didn't agree with, and this is what I run my campaign on: facts. I don't go out there and say opinions. When he sat there and lied about a teacher having people losing litter boxes, that was a doggone lie.
yeah.
Him as an attorney should know better. And when you're in a position, or anyone, because we all leaders here, we leaders of ourselves and our families, so we all leaders. We know that we cannot stir people the wrong way. Talk rhetoric can stir up anything. I don't want to go national, but even our former president, 45, when his rhetoric and caused division in this country. We all know that. You see some folks, I saw a guy today, I love Donald Trump, and F your feelings. What kind of crap that is? So we need to get back to the roots of things and care about the people in our community. I want to promote this, but I do want to promote this because I want everyone to show up. June the 1st, if y'all not doing it, but no, June the 1st, I want y'all to come to our event. It's going to be at Destiny's, the old Anytime Fitness in Greenwood. Our flyers should be made by this week. But I want at least 15 to 20,000 people to show up. It's a community event for the children. We're looking to have also 10 food trucks there, music, live entertainment. I want it packed like a barbecue festival. So it's a community event for everyone. Also, it could be like a meet and greet if you want to meet and talk to us as well. And you want to get pictures with us, it could be $10,000. So, but overall, we need to bring unity back to our communities and get to the era where we care for one another.
I look at you guys and I see the sincerity in you guys and the heart that y'all have for the people. And I also see your mama looking down and saying to my boy, I said, I'm proud of you. Because y'all keep them.
But I saw, but that really comes from, I don't talk about this a lot, but my parents were in the movement, civil rights movement. My mother marched, my dad, they did sit-ins, and when we were kids, my dad used to always, my dad was a mean dude, he was a mean guy, but I was so in fear, I respected him, I didn't want to disappoint him. So my father came in the house after this long day of walking, we would sit down and we just wait for him to smile or say something. And if he smiled, it was like, whoo, it was a good day. But what he did was he had us sit down and we watched the local news and then we watched Dan Rather. We didn't miss Dan Rather. And he always told us the importance of knowing what's going on in the world and knowing what's going on in your communities. He was a big advocate of helping people in the community. I seen my mother one day, this girl I went to school with, and her mother was on drugs real bad. And my mother, her birthday came up, and my mother made her a big birthday cake. And me being a kid, I was kind of jealous of that, but I didn't understand the notion of it. And so after she gave her the cake, I pouted about it. Me being a young kid, not understanding things, I pouted about it. And my mother told me, she said, "Why are you pouting about it? You have a mother, you have a father, you have love in your family. That girl doesn't have that." So I did this to give this girl a look of every child needs that. Now I have my son, I understand that. I understand what that means of you caring for kids. You know, because I love children now. And my son did something the other night that made me so proud of. He read a whole book. And I just told him, I said, "Do you know what you just did?" I said, your great grandfather and grandma, they couldn't read. Now they smiling down and you seen you reading a whole book. He enunciates as well. His math is okay, but but he has so much potential. But I stay on him because I know the importance of me being there and educating him, because I know if I touch him, he can touch others. And he has a lot of compassion. He's a good young fella. Get on my nerves sometimes, but and I blame him for these little gray hairs right here I got. But so, I know. I'm just proud of him. I was proud to see him do that because it warmed my soul to see him reading and enunciating words. Even on TV, he looked at it, he enunciating things, and reading gets him excited. So I'm pointing to him, helping him with education. It's going to be a joy to me to be able to bring legislation to reform it so that we can bring better education to our public schools. Because right now they're trying to pass a law to take public school money and fund it to the private schools. And everyone knows that the public schools take care of the low-income families. It's not a race thing, y'all. It's a class thing. So it's a higher class down in the lower class. We got to stand up. Enough's enough, because if we don't stand up, you know what's gonna happen? If you push too many people back to the wall, it's gonna be a mutiny. People are gonna walk in Walmart, they're gonna take food and walk right out. You know why? They're gonna feed their families. So if they don't want to have that kind of chaos, better get it together, because people are tired, people are frustrated, and we need leadership that's gonna come in and do the right thing for people, not for their own personal agenda.
And I didn't cut you off, but when I'm on the campaign trail, it's a new epidemic going on now. And the epidemic is financial frustration epidemic. People are financially frustrated. People are frustrated about the elected officials. They're frustrated how they have some marriage couples, not all, had to make decisions if they're going to pay their light bill or the mortgage or feed their children. And that's something we grew up witnessing. Our parents making a decision if we're going to keep the lights on or feed our children. The cost of living is rising and jobs are not giving raises. So that's a huge issue for me, because when I talk post community, affordable housing is the big thing. We personally working on with my local pastor creating a senior citizen, a senior community, where basically it's affordable. Not only affordable, you got a primary doctor care going around daily, a cleaning service to clean the house for the seniors, and also, as well, it's something dear to me because I was in the field, life insurance. Some seniors do not have life insurance because they can't afford it. So putting in a packet when something happens to them, they even have life insurance to bury it. So it won't put their family into a rut when it comes to the funeral time. So those are things I'm pushing for in my community daily, and it's a challenge, but y'all, if we come together, this can be accomplished.
Okay.
One of the reasons for income disparity that, thank you, that keeps growing and growing, back in the end of the Reagan era, they got rid of the real progressive tax for the upper income. And so they're actually paying less percent than people with less income than them. And that's just making this split bigger and bigger and bigger. So we need to get them back to taxing what they're supposed to do. And then also all the money that they were supposedly given in helping to build their industries so that will trickle down and build up the jobs, they held on to it. And they didn't trickle it down at all. And we need to deal with that too.
You, going back with what you were saying about the trickle down and the various things that the Republicans didn't say and the Republicans' fantasies, I think a lot of us know that. That's why we're Democrats, not Republicans.
Right.
What are some of your proposals to change some of that, to get rid of the trickle down? And can any of you speak to this federal and state minimum wage, for instance?
Okay, minimum wage, my master's degree is in resource management, which is in policy and economics. So if I geek out on the econ, just tell me, knock it back. The minimum wage, the argument is, if you raise the minimum wage, if you jump it up, which we're down, at 7, and we need to jump it up probably closer to 20 than 15 by now, it causes a real hardship to small business owners. Because now all of a sudden they're having to pay their workers nearly double. What we need to do is boost it up over time and also tie it to consumer price index or cost of living index, one of those, so that it rises all on its own. So we don't have to go through this every 30, 40 years of saying we need to raise minimum wage, but the raise has got to be like this, and everybody complains. If it was just raising all on its own, then nobody would complain about it, because then business owners could adapt as it was going on every year. So that's, the flip is gonna have to be, someone's gotta be brave enough to say, we're gonna raise it, but we're gonna raise it $3 this year, and $3 more the next year, and $5 more, and then 10 more, in order to get it up to where it needs to be. Because absolutely, you cannot live on minimum wage. You cannot have a house. I was a sole wage earner and fed 4 people, me and my husband and the 2 kids, and on a teacher's salary. And on a teacher's salary, my children in elementary school were on free reduced lunch, because I didn't make enough money to support 4 people. And if I had not inherited a house, we wouldn't have had a roof over our heads. So yes, the wage definitely needs to go up, and we need to deal with the taxing at the top. We need to deal with, if they're gonna give money for industry, we need to see the benefit down at the bottom, and we need to deal with minimum
We're
wage.
talking about automatic minimum wage
Yes.
increases tied to either the consumer price index or COLA, just like Social Security and military
Exactly.
and everything else.
Exactly.
Like that.
Okay.
After you get it to a decent place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Vanita had her hand up.
So I hear what all of you are saying, and I agree with what you're saying, and I see the passion, and I understand that you're committed to the positions that you're running for. You see the number of people in here. We all understand and we know what the issues are. You speak about the Republicans and what they're doing and what they're not doing. But one of you, I can't remember one, said it best, and that is, they don't care what they're doing if they're gonna vote for him and for the Republicans. They have moved into more or less a cult mindset. And I think, you said it in terms of this fantasy that's going on with them, but they have bought into it, and others are buying into it because of the way they are marketing it. They are putting a spin on things so that people who know better are beginning to believe that that must be true. My question is, what are we going to do? Not just the three of you, but us as Democrats, what are we going to do to have a message that resonates like this so that we can get people on board? The average person is not on board with us. They don't understand what we stand for. They're not trying to understand what we stand for, but if we get people on board some kind of way.
I can answer that question for you. I think one thing, and I'm not knocking President Biden at all. One thing that he didn't do that our former president was great at, bragging. Biden created 11 million jobs in 4 years. Think about that, 11 million jobs in 4 years he created. But as a person, can't tell you that. He did student loans forgiveness and forgiveness for the people who were struggling in debt for student loan. He created 7,500 manufacturing jobs in this country. Now, the average person cannot tell you that. He does not do a good job of bragging and marketing. Former President Obama, when he spoke, what he said? He saved the Detroit auto industry that was known. Biden just not knocking him. I just say he don't do a good job of marketing and bragging about that. I know he don't need to brag. He lets numbers show for himself. So our former President Trump, he has a good way of marketing. Even in court right now, it's on TV. He even after court he walks and talks. Now the negative side of it, we want to talk about it. Democrats need a counterpunch. Let's talk about how he passed gas and stinks. Talk about that. You know.
What he's jumping on is exactly right. We in the South are just too darn polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll just let people say things and we just go, okay.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get it, they'll understand. Well, they're not gonna understand it unless we hit them back with,
Come on,
no,
come
that is
on.
not the truth.
Or we place the champ. He said in 2016, one of the most qualified candidates we probably ever had in history. He said that you lock her up, and that was just the notion. We should return the favor, lock him up. He got 91 felonies.
But
So,
you said it. We have to be more aggressive.
more aggressive.
Yes, we do.
That is the whole thing. We're so laid back that everything that going, just like all of the things that they have said, that most people don't look at the news. They look at the 5 o'clock news or whatever, but they're not following the news and getting the true picture of what is going on. So they listen to Fox News or whatever, they catch
The
that.
the propaganda station.
So they think that this is what's going on. But you have to pay attention and you have to know those people that are truthful in there when they give the news. And not just, because I hate it. My vote don't count anyway. And so, but we have to get past that. Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Aggressive marketing.
But I'm talking y'all. But I charge the people in the community. We gotta be aggressive. We gotta be vocal.
Yeah.
I
You have to
grew-
pull
I
people
grew up-
out
I grew-
from
I grew up in the
and get
community.
them out to vote.
I grew up in a community when he and I was in that pond when we was swimming. Aunt Rose, Aunt Lizzie said, "Get out that pond," and my whole family knew about it. That my butt spanked. We need to bring that back. That aggression is back in the community. Look, you gonna vote today? Hold these people that we elected accountable. And then when they come back in town from Washington, hey, you need to be here. You need to inform us what's going on. What are you passing laws in Congress for people in the community? We gotta create a dialogue, a transparency dialogue with our elected officials.
You have to stand behind the ones that you send. If you get them elected, then you have to stand behind them, you know, to do what they said they were going to do.
Hold me accountable. Don't
Okay.
call me at all.
We need a message. We need a bold message. All of what you're saying is good, but people not gonna hold on to that. We need a message. 1, 2, 3, message. So that people immediately know, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay, Barbara had her hand up, and after she asked her question to whomever, then we're gonna end it, okay?
Well,
Somebody got a
one
question?
thing I wanna say, one thing that the Republicans are doing is they're distracting people with these non-issues, banning books, what kids play on what sports teams. Those are not issues that really affect people's lives, but they get everybody all upset about it, and they keep raising this. But the question I'd like to ask you all three of you is, once you get in office, will you come back to the community and have some public forums and some, so you can meet and greet and listen to people?
One of my plans were, like we were talking about this, but when I get elected, every quarter I want to meet with my party or chairs and community officials to have town halls.
Yes.
Town halls would put me center stage in front of the community and fire at me. Tell me what you want me to accomplish. Tell me what you need in the community, because it's y'all are running for it. It's y'all the people. This country was started because we had men, brave men that left Britain to have freedom, religious freedoms in the new world. So it's built for the people to be able to have the right to be able to tell us what they need done, because y'all are living in our communities every day. So my plan is to have town halls quarterly in each one of my district counties to be able to see what you need and how can I provide that for you. That's my goal.
Vice versa too, as well. Even though I don't have as many counties as these two have, but the goal is be present. Town halls, and not only that, if you have community events, show up. I'm not telling you that I'm gonna be there, but don't be there. And that's something that I push, even being consistent, being a man of my word. Ms. Phillips told me, "Are you gonna come?" I said, "I will be here." And just I tell people, voters, I'm straightforward with them. Hey, if I'm not doing what I need to do my 4 years, vote me out. Vote me out, because hold me accountable of what I'm gonna say I'm gonna do, what I'm not gonna do. I don't make campaign promises. My only, because God, look at the numbers. I'm outnumbered by Republican Party, 80 to 35. So, but I can promise you that I will be a thorn on their side every day and be your voice. That's my promise for y'all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Be seen, be here, be heard, listen. Duncan, most people don't even know what he looks like except for pictures on the news. Most people have never met him. I met him once at a Rotary Club meeting in Westminster, which is, by the way, smaller than Walhalla. And he came in, this is when he first got elected, he came in with 2 henchmen. I don't know what he was afraid of. And he spoke for 15 minutes, and then he turned around and walked out, and the henchman said, "There will be no questions," and then off he went. And at that very moment, I was like, I could do that job better. So, yeah, definitely, be here, be present.
Good. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all just give them a hand. Y'all was very informative. Very informative. Very good meeting, if I have to say so myself. What do y'all think? All right. All right. Next we'll have grace and prayer by Joe Bryson.
Lord, we just thank you for this message that we received today, Lord God, and we just go out and share it with other people, Lord God, and we would thank you in 2024 that the Democrats would take all the seats back that rightly belongs to us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay.